What's up? My name is Christian Igwe, and I serve as the lead pastor of Redeemed Christian Church. Today, I'm going to talk to you about history. And I'm going to tell you something about history. I love history. I have always had this deep, passionate love for history. All throughout school, it was my favorite subject. I love to learn about the different cultures of the world, right? All the different people, the different continents, all this stuff. I loved it. And I would marvel at all the stuff that we've done throughout our history, right? Look at the wonders of the world. Look at the accomplishments that we've gone from being, sandals and all the way up into space, man. History is an amazing thing, and I've always loved it. That being said, today I sit here and I'm thinking about my love of history, and I realize that while we can learn a lot from our own history, both our successes and failures, we also have to be cautious of not turning our failures in our own lives into permanent fixtures for us. You see, I think a lot of us at times will make statues of our failures. We'll memorialize our failures, and we refuse to move on from this state of failure that we're in. We'll hold on to these memories, and we build our entire lives around the negative images of our failed self instead of focusing on the myriad of good things in our lives, whether it's happening to us or whether it's decisions that we make ourselves. It's so much easier to focus on the negative state of things. And I don't know if you agree with me, but if you do, you understand that it's easy to dive into this pattern of thinking. That's because nobody likes failure, and usually the instant response is to try and fix and correct that failure. Myself, I've always strived to be the best there is at everything I do, and I've been incredibly hard on myself when it comes to my personal failures in life, to the point where I've sunk to deep, dark depressions simply because I'm focusing and reminiscing on the failures in my life. It's taken a long time for me to adopt and understand that you gotta let things go. You gotta accept that you made a mistake, but you gotta move on and get past that. But here's what gives me hope, and I pray that it will give you hope as well today. In Psalm 51, David is in the middle of his greatest failure of his kingship. And the way he handles this failure, it's an example for all of us to follow. You see, what he does here is first, he admits his sin to God, which is a really hard thing for any of us to do, even though it's just God and we know that he's listening to us and he cares about our faults and failures and all that stuff. It's really, really hard to admit that we did something wrong. And that's what David did right off the bat. He admitted his sin to God. From that point on, David then submitted himself to God and proceeded to then seek after the Lord with his own heart, with all of his heart, everything that was in him. David chased after the Lord. This is the lesson, the challenge, the goal for all of us, is that we should learn from our failures. Submit those failures to God, right? Admit our sin, and then submit ourselves to God and chase him with everything we have. Seek to be building a relationship with God, and watch how he encourages you, uplifts you, and brings you to a place of hope even in the middle of your failures. I encourage you today to think the same. Remember, you're welcome, known, and loved here at Redeemed.